Recording in progress. Hey, how's everybody doing? It's been a while since I've been on this too. I'd almost forgotten how to do it. So, how you keeping well? Hey, look at, I know it's winter in most places in the world where people are watching this little bit of a video that I do. And did I say it was winter? Snow? I mean, I might get my YouTube channel canceled for mentioning the word snow. I mean, that's one lousy 4-letter word, at least in my city of London, Canada. And for all the people locally who live here, Happy New Year. Wow, man, what day is it? Let's look at our calendar. February 3rd. Again, another video, unrehearsed, and doing my best to look in the camera as I speak, and to speak clearly, and to say, hey man, how you doing? Look, hang in there. I know it sounds like psychology 101, it's cheap, but I have this to say, it's not your fault. It's your fault if you lie back and just say, I don't care, I give up. Don't do that. Alright? Your legs aren't painted on. Redo it. Okay? Redo your life, man. Be happy. And I'm going to pause it just for a minute because I have a tea going here. Okay? But just hold on. Alright? I'm going to let it go. I'm just going to let this thing go. I don't know how to pause it, so I'll be right back. Okay, hang on. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to my girl. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. Message on my YouTube. Message on my YouTube. How was that? That was my little impersonation tribute to the police. And I hope I don't offend them. I don't have the money to pay on the copyrights. I don't sue, please. Please be kind. Sting and the boys, you know. Anyway, question for you. Thanks for waiting. I drink this instant coffee. What am I doing here? Let's move this over a bit. So, have you had an election recently? Not an erection. An election, you know, as in voting, your civic election, state election, province, no, not a provincial election, but have you had a city election recently, civic? Oh, we did. As you know from the videos, if you've been following my boondoggle collection of YouTube videos, we had a civic election on October 27, and Londoners did not come out in droves to vote. However, 43% did, according to the statistics that came through. About a month later, we had an interview with 3 people. I have the article on my file. And they said that one of the pundits that was interviewed stated unequivocally that our expectations for our new leaders, our new councillors, our leadership in London, our expectations are, and I quote, too high. Right. So we'll come back to that. I wanted to keep this short and to the point, try to improve the professionalism of the video. Feeling a little bit sardonic, a little bit sarcastic today, because I'm one of those sponges that walk around with legs in society and absorb the vibe from people. And most of it's good. I'm not dragging my dinosaur tail, so most of it's good. I don't have that many gray hairs, just a little bit, maybe here. Wrinkles, But we still feel like we're a youthful 51 years old. Well, 52nd year. And I want to turn this into a personal want ad for, matchmakers or something like that. But we can be happy with today's a little bit sardonic, a little bit sarcastic because of the winter. Sent some emails using the social media connection, as we call it, the internet, the www, known as the World Wide Web, communicating online with my Ward 3 councillor about, if you can believe this, snow and ice clearing in the wintertime. Can you imagine the concept? Snow and ice build up. Why? Because it snows. And sometimes it rains after it snows. Then it grows cold. And it turns to, you're right, ice. And it builds up. And it becomes, for some, which would be me, namely, dangerous. Mobility issues. And I sent an email to him 2 or 3 times. He forwarded it to the snow removal department at City Hall. I know there's a lot of snow and ice, but it's been frustrating. I'm trying to adjust my head here, not look into the camera while I'm talking. But I appreciate your patience. So, the last time it snowed, which was recently, and if anybody's living on the East Coast, in Canada and Maine, Portland, Maine, you don't have to be reminded of the weather. And I'm in London, Canada, which is further east of Newfoundland, of course. And it snowed quite a bit. I was very pleased to see the snow removal crews out shortly after. They took shorter time than usual to arrive on scene to clear the sidewalks. So why am I complaining? I am happy, first of all, they did some clearing. However, the terminal point, which is just outside, I don't have a proper video camera. I show you the terminal point. It's what we call in our system. You may have a terminal point in your public transit system, but all the terminal points where the bus drivers can stop for a break if they choose. So I happen to live, my apartment building is next to a terminal point. It's stop number 1245, actually. So anyway, it would be nice if they could clear the ice and snow. If I was the only person complaining, then I'd be foolish, wouldn't I? I'd sound like an idiot, much like I look like an idiot and sound like an idiot now, saying this. What I said to move us forward a bit, to my counselor, I said, Mohamed, complaining to you, sending emails to you about the snow clearing and ice clearing for the wintertime, during the wintertime, is redundant. It should be understood. That's what I mean. I use Canadian English in a really kind of unusual way at times. And there are so many other issues we're going to talk about. I want to wait, well, let's see, October, November, December, January. Well, I could almost talk about them now with some of the issues. It's been 3 months since council started December 1st. They resumed their new positions. So December 1st, January 1st, February 1st, and I could talk. Today's February 3rd. So I'll give them another month to rally, to roll out the barrel called the London Budget Plan. They've rolled out some of it online and whatever now. And we should all be happy, shouldn't we? Let's try my new humorous technique. Anyway, be happy. I am happy, tremendously happy. I am. Although I'm German ancestry, and I think there's some Irish in there somewhere too, my family tree. Canadian, I am happy. Serious. Still talking about the same old crap. Still learning how to talk in front of a camera. Thanks for your patience, but I want to offer you peace. There's not much in the world right now, is there, peace? From parts we see. Rotten, terrible. What happened to John Baird? Here's another issue. Our foreign affairs minister leaving office, leaving politics altogether. What? Did I hear right? A lot of people are asking today, why? We haven't heard why. Will we hear a reason why? Will it make sense? Does anybody care? John Baird, Mr. John Baird, Member of Parliament, or former Member of Parliament now, because he announced his resignation this morning. He had a lot of work to do still. I'm hoping that everybody, and I'm sorry I don't have the names again, Mr. Fahmy, I believe Fahmy is his last name. I do hope everybody's released from the Egyptian prison. Absolutely ridiculous to incarcerate journalists who believe in supporting that little thing we call freedom of speech. I say it's a little thing, it's actually a huge thing, but it's we casually, as I talk on this webcam, we casually assume we'll always have freedom of speech, and we need to protect it. And part of that is protecting our journalists, even though we don't always agree with them. We have a rag, a news rag, I affectionately refer to in the city, called the London Free Press. Patrick, Maloney, and the gang are delivering the news to us, right? We'll have a presentation regarding those folks in the coming days. So anyway, I want to shorten this up a bit. Thanks again for watching me and listening to me, for staying tuned in. If you tuned out, come on back and tune in. Please post your comments. I do read them. I try to respond to them all. Okay, so we're busy. Lots of stuff to do. I'm working on an industrial screenplay course at the minute. It's an online course. It was $720 originally. I picked it up for $19. One of my friends mentioned it. I enjoy writing. Pardon me. I was chosen to be published again this year through the Poetry Institute of Canada. So I'm quite pleased about that. Thank you, Wendy. Wendy Burgess and the Poetry Institute of Canada team, family. I actually had 2 items published this year, an adult creative short fiction story and a poem. So that should be in print now as I speak. So I'll be picking up, ordering my copies. The Poetry Institute of Canada, check out the webpage. So anyway, that's my cheap little blurb again about the Poetry Institute of Canada. So yeah, working away on the screenplay. I'm also working on a thing online which is free to everybody. It's called the Big History Project. I think there's 8 badges to earn, and I've earned 4. It's all electronic and online. I don't actually, they won't send me a badge. I don't know how to sew anyways, so. Anyway, be good to yourself, please. There are a lot of young couples I know, I talked in the city, they're struggling a bit, struggling to make ends meet, raising a family. The labor market is taking full advantage of these young, hardworking people, and it really saddens me. It really does. Actually, makes me rather annoyed at times to see what's going on in the marketplace right now. There's no need for it, for people to be taken advantage of. We don't need to crush people economically. Anyway, I know the market, everybody believes it's subjective to the global issues regarding oil, the dollar. It's, folks, at the risk of coming off like an asshole, pardon my French, it's a load of crock. We have all the resources we need in this city. We have all the intelligence, the tools. I was talking to a very nice young lady today at a place called Youth Opportunities Unlimited. Her name is Courtney. Courtney, you're fantastic. She said she's finishing up her tenure with Youth Opportunity Limited. Youth Opportunities Unlimited. You can Google them. I know Steve, the director, CEO, whatever his title is. I met him when I was just a young guy, back when I was 21 years old, 30 years ago. Yeah, he's still there at Youth Opportunities Limited, doing a fantastic job. But anyway, Courtney will be finished up in September, her training program, and she has high optimism and hopes to move on. She's going to continue in the hospitality industry. I encouraged her, because she mentioned a couple places, familiar retail outlets which don't need my blessing or my promotion here. But I encouraged her to perhaps consider opening her own catering business, opening her own food business. Because people in London, as you can tell by my amazing physique here, love to eat. Yeah. So we love food. And I encourage Courtney to consider opening up her own startup enterprise. And there are programs, apparently. I saw an ad as I was walking through the door of Youth Opportunity Limited this morning. I saw an ad for a startup program there. So anyway, I look forward to seeing her again and talking with her. Very nice. I noticed when I walked in to Youth Opportunity Limited, I said to her it's nice to be greeted. I mean, it wasn't busy at all, just myself and Courtney and a couple of her coworkers. And one of her coworkers, who I haven't been introduced to yet, said, "Hey, how's it going? Hello, hi, how are you?" Something like that. A nice greeting. And I offered Courtney the view that there's businesses in London that have come and gone, partly because their welcome mat is the size of a postage stamp. And I grow weary of these types of businesses very fast that offer those types of welcoming mats. We need this. If we see customers every week, treat your customers right. And Courtney tend to agree in general. Of course, I'm quite a boisterous and talkative individual. Might surprise a couple of people to hear me say that. Anyway, this video is dragging on and my voice is dying, thankfully. So take care of yourselves. And please post a video. Start up a YouTube channel. Air your opinions. Canadians, listen to me. We have an election this year. Yes, I know the election's a drag, and there's so much to ignore and avoid. But don't do it this year. Get out there and vote, please. A lot of people I talked to in the last few weeks, they said, "Rob, what's the point of voting? It's an election year, so start thinking about who it will be. Who deserves your vote?" What was that? Nobody. Okay, well, all right. That's a good place to start. Starting at 0. Well, let's work up from there. All right. It's got to be somebody. And it's the age of communication now. Post those emails to your member of parliament. I tend to focus my energy locally, because that's where the action really should be. The grassroots organizations should plant the seeds locally in your city or town or village or whatever. All right, so get on there on the email and talk to your councillors or your senators or whoever they are in your space in the universe. All right? Okay, as I promised, I'm going to get out of here. So take care. Peace, love, best, prosperity, hang in. It will get better. Okay, but it starts with you and I, right? Okay. All right. See you later. I'm going to hit my button here.